You know, I really needed a minute to sit with this one. Hello, everyone. I'm author R.L. Raintree, and this is Reels and Reads, where I give honest reviews and occasional spoilers. Today, I'm using one of these little lavalier microphones, so like a lot of you do when you hold it and it's supposed to be on your shirt. I have no confidence in this microphone, so if the sound in this video is jacked, c'est la vie. I want to do a review of Slanted. I got an advanced screening of it yesterday. Today is Friday the 13th, so a lot of you are going to theaters to see it right now. Don't worry, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but if you are debating whether or not you should go ahead and grab a ticket today, I'm going to give you a spoiler on that and say yes. I'm going to spoil my own review and say, yeah, I'm going to cop that ticket, friend. It's worth the money, and you should probably be in the theater for this one. Now, the basics of this film is that it is dark comedy, sci-fi, and horror. And as I get through that list, the further down the list I go, the less those things appear in the film. It'll make sense. So you have a 5-year-old girl named Chi-Chi, or Gigi. I don't speak Mandarin very well, but it's Q-I-Q-I, Gigi. She's moving to America for the first time. Now, before I go any further, this is where the comedy comes in because the Starbucks is Freedom Beans and the Dollar Tree is like prayer bullets or something like that. Or every store, every billboard is some sort of whitewashed America, almost dystopian if you think about it. Like if no other ethnicities existed, this is what the store names and billboards would be. So she's moving in a town like this. The poor baby. Now, her father is obviously her best friend. They have so much fun together. She's not as close with her mom, probably because her mom can see right through her. And I'll circle back to that later. She moves here when she's 5 years old. Her father gets a job as a janitor at the local high school. And I believe there was some sort of dragon festival that he was supposed to go home with his wife and child to participate in. But I don't know if y'all are aware, but immigrants be trying to get that money. So he went ahead and accepted a late shift from the boss and didn't stop to think about the cultural practices that he swore to uphold and the family time that he agreed to. So now he's working late on prom night. And while the wife is kind of, she says her piece about it, but it is what it is, the daughter, Gigi, she starts to wander off and she stumbles upon a prom where there's nothing but blonde hair, blue-eyed white girls, all pretty, all wearing these nice gowns, and you got all the glitter. I mean, you know what proms look like, right? And then you've got the crowns and everything, and it's a magical, beautiful thing that any 5-year-old, no matter where they're from, would someday want to be a part of. I mean, that's how I got roped into the pageant business when I was a little girl. You fast forward to where now she's a student at this high school, and she's very different. She looks sort of like she's alternative, like she goes against the grain, but she clearly does not. She spends the entire film trying to fit in with the very people that she tells us she hates. Meanwhile, she's got nothing but white people, white celebrities on her walls. Her standard of beauty is measured against white people. As you've seen from the trailer, she has a clothespin on her nose. As a black girl who went to an all-white Irish Catholic school, yeah, I'm ashamed to say I've done that too. I can tell y'all right now, take the clothespin off your nose. It doesn't do shit. If anything, you'll develop sinus issues. But I digress. She now attends a school. She has a best friend named Brenda, Brindha, because why not? I love her. She is a different type of Asian. She is Indian, and she also has the sort of alternative look to her piercings and all of the things. Now, the thing that they have in common is that they both hate these white girls at the school because why not? But the entire time you see these two together on screen, Gigi is constantly looking at the white boy and his group of friends, whereas Brenda is always looking at Gigi. And that's going to be important later on. Let me remind you, I have not delivered any spoilers. Everything I'm telling you, you can see in the trailer. Now, when Gigi was 5 years old and she goes to make friends with the other kids in class, she has something that to me looks like a tortilla warmer, but I know it's not. I would say it's a bento box. It's circular. It kind of looks like the Wish-A-Pon. I'm going to be real with you. But of course, she opens the lid and the kids recoil. They think her food stinks because they don't know what seasoning smells like. And she decides she's never going to eat her Chinese meal again. And so she sells her meals to her friend Brenda, who is happy to have that Asian food. So Brenda's proud of who she is, whereas Chi Chi is not. She wants to be American, and the definition of American to her means white. Now, the mom, as I said, can always see right through Gigi, but the father only sees what he wants to see. So she suppresses how she really feels and what's really going on because she doesn't want her mother to see who she really is, and she doesn't want her father to know just how miserable she is. This is why she is able to get away with going through this medical procedure that's kind of a little bit on the side of Ryan Murphy's The Beauty, but I'll get back to that. Now, she has this hair transplant because God help her, she had black roots when she bleached her hair blonde. And then the rest of the procedure involves turning her eyes blue, making her white. You all have seen the trailer. Again, I'm not spoiling this for you. All of this is in the trailer. So she comes home, she's white. The parents are like, what the fuck? And she's like, this is me now. This is me now. And then, of course, the film goes on from there. All sorts of issues take place. And again, as the trailer suggests, her body begins to reject the procedure. Now, all I've done is explain to you in detail what you guys are seeing in the extended trailers. I haven't even begun to crack the surface of the film. I refuse to be one of those film reviewers who gives like big spoilers that basically just sits here and tells you the whole movie. I'm not going to do that. Go watch the movie. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you what I like about this. What I loved about this is that it was more dark comedy and drama than sci-fi and horror. The sci-fi aspect is only in that this procedure is some sort of new technology. The horror aspect is obviously when her body begins to reject it. There's some body horror there. There's some fleshy things happening. I'd say 1 millionth of a % of what we see in Ryan Murphy's The Beauty. So if you have a problem with body horror like I do, you might cringe a little for a scene and a half, but that's about it. It's not that bad at all. So I do like that I was able to watch a film about someone going through something horrific with their body and I didn't feel the need to just get up and walk out because but no, I think you'll be okay. But I did love that it was more dark comedy, more drama. I mean, there are scenes that happen at Dr. Singer's office where there's a monitor where you have people giving their testimonials of the surgery. Listen very carefully. Okay. You will get your seven chuckles in. Listen very carefully to the people telling you how they feel about their surgery in the videos. Like, child. And then there's a karaoke song which is what is it? I love being white or something like that. I don't have to worry about the police. And again, you're going to love it. Pay attention to the little details. Pay attention to the background on the set. Pay attention to things that people are saying under their breath. It is really, really funny in a dark way, but also the drama, the main story that you're being told, what it's like to be a Chinese American, being, essentially there are the parents, right? You have the father who's there to make that money and he does it immediately. You have the mom who's there to basically support the family. She's just doing it in a whole other country. Baby girl is still proud to be Chinese. There's a scene where she goes to the nail salon. There's a Chinese woman there, proud to be Chinese. I'm going to take care of you. These little white girls can go somewhere else. I'm not going to miss their money. So it shows how being Chinese and immigrating to America as an adult is a completely different experience when you were a child who was discovering who you are and developing your own identity. It is very, very different. It's also very different for an Indian who is Asian, also for those who don't know about geography. For them, she's very proud of who she is. But whereas this girl being Chinese, she's not so proud of who she is. So the drama in seeing the difference in relationships, the difference in identity, the difference in cultural norms to assimilate or not assimilate. It's deep, it's heavy, but not in a way that makes you say, man, I didn't come here for all this. Again, the comedic timing is perfect so that it's not too heavy when it does get heavy and it's not too dark when it does get dark. It's kind of like Get Out in that respect, where Get Out was hilarious and it was horrifying, but it was funny all at the right time. If I were to describe this film, I'd say it's like Get Out in that people are trying to become an opposite race, and it's sort of like The Beauty in that, you will become the person of your dreams, but the similarities are very, very small beyond that. I am, however, taking note of the fact there's a lot of these film and television shows on that topic. When it comes to things that I didn't like, I had to dig deep, but I felt like the practical effects for Gigi's face could have used an upgrade. It wasn't the best, but I don't know what type of budget they were working with. And with that being the only thing I had a major problem with, there were a couple little small things like, she got her hair transplant before the permission slip got signed. And so there were a couple little things like she got her hair transplant without the permission slip being signed. Little things that didn't take away from the plot. But I will say the fact that the only thing I deeply had an issue with was the practical special effects, which weren't many. We're talking about the applications of things. That's the only thing wrong with this film. So that being said, I am giving it 5 stars. I highly recommend you go check out this film. This is definitely going to be added to my collection. And let me know what you guys think. What did you think of Slanted? Are you planning to watch it? And if you watched it, drop your opinion in the comment. Please let me know what you thought of this film if you've already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, let me know why or why not if you're planning to see it. It is Friday the 13th. The film did come out today. I think this is definitely going to be a great Friday night film for you. Probably a movie I would watch twice, which I don't say very much. So again, I gave it 5 stars. And since you're here, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. If you help me run my numbers up, then I'm able to get more access to more films, TV shows, and books that I can tell you whether or not you're wasting your time and money watching the shows, movies, or reading the books. And as always, thank you for watching.